Okay, works there. But it's not working with this. This is what I'm using to filter it. So I don't know how my mic sounds right now. Test. Okay, there we go. It's working now. I don't know if you're still here. So I don't know how entertaining it is to keep crashing like that, but all right. Try something else then. Back here. Oh. So that didn't work. So now I'm gonna have to like try to do git bisect or something, or at least look at the git diff. Pause this. Okay. So let me undo the changes here. The shader, or no, that's the wrong one. Here's the right shader. So get rid of this. Get rid of this. And yeah, and then I changed some stuff around in here. So apparently none of this was the problem. Only other thing I can think of is how I'm managing the descriptors. I don't think I've really changed much else. Let's see what's... I should just have the few lines here. Yep, that's fine. Or image layout, transfer... Oh, this is wrong. This needs to be shader read-only optimal, but I don't think... Like, this is the image layout that gets actually put into the descriptor on the GPU when it's running things. Oh, and this might be a little small. But anyway. And so I don't think putting this in the wrong format would just crash it. That's only... Yeah, I don't know. Usually I found render doc is like, there's no way I could do this without render doc. Especially when trying to deal with like buffer alignment and things like that. Yeah, but I don't know why only that layout, that image format would work. Yeah, could you spend something with your GPU, or maybe I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, back to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and commit what I have, even though it breaks. Yeah, well, that's fine. Can you get render doc working on Wayland? I'm on X11, but render doc should work on Wayland. It shouldn't matter. Yeah, but I'm using X11 anyway. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is I know on Wayland there's something about like it won't create the window until you start drawing to it or something like that. Oh yeah. Okay, and then like if you're having some weird problem with like a crash that you're trying to use it for render doc, maybe it doesn't work like that on Wayland. But I just use X11 because I want to avoid any weird Wayland issues. So yeah, commit broken image loading with staging buffer. Okay, and then let me go. I need to learn how to use like whatever it is, ma git magit. I don't know how to say it with Emacs because it can do like git diff stuff really well, like in Emacs. But anyway, oh, you start my repo. Thanks. Let me go and check out my commits here. So update all sets with one call. I don't know if I... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just switched to NixOS recently. I remember I tried using it a few years ago, and it was a lot of trouble to try to run like third-party programs. Now, one, there's just a whole lot more program support, and two, Nix LD is a thing. So like I remember before I was having to like run everything through Steam Run, just kind of ridiculous. Um, yeah, but this time around, it's been a lot easier. I tried it last 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember. Um, it could have been this commit. I don't know if I ever tested this. I was in here. I was changing around how I'm loading descriptors, and so that could definitely be causing some GPU crashes. Since I was trying to go from I was calling let's see, where is it? It's actually pipeline. Yeah, I updated a lot of this code in my update descriptors function, so that instead of so on this VK update descriptor sets, before I was only doing like one at a time updates, and now I can do like bulk updates because I needed that for images since I'm using arrays of images, right? And samplers and all that. And so I needed to upload um, a whole bunch of like image infos all at once. And so I just kind of shuffled everything around to get this working. But apparently this isn't working right. Or, I mean, this is the only other thing I can think of because I commented out everything else. I mean, I could just not call this and see if it crashes. Because then, yeah, I'd get like weird validation errors, but at least it wouldn't crash, I would think, if I don't update the descriptor sets. Yeah, set descriptor. Yeah, I'm not even using that. Yeah, maybe it's something weird with this. Descriptor count. Wait, hold on a second. I see exactly what I'm doing wrong. So on here on this descriptor count, so I'm updating descriptors, and I have this code. It works. It's supposed to work for both buffers and images. But when I was setting it up for images, see, I put so for a buffer, I just want one. But for an image, I need actually I don't want to do it like this. But for an image, the descriptor count needs to be like however many like global textures I want to upload to the GPU. But what I was doing here is always setting descriptor count to the number of global images I have. And so when I was trying to run update on a descriptor set for like a buffer, then it was trying to go here and it was going to this, what is it? Yeah, this descriptor writes buffer info. And it was looking for like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 images or whatever here. But there is only one descriptor info in the pointer when it tried to update it, since I'm not taking into account that there should just be one for buffers. I don't know if that made any sense, but that's definitely why this is crashing. So, how do I want to do this? Yeah, so from binding layout, okay. Yeah, so descriptor writes dot push back. So, okay, so this is actually fine. I just need to move this. Yeah. Yeah. This just needs to go here. Well, here this needs to be 1. Yeah. But then for images, you need to be this. Okay, I think that should work then. I might crash again. I don't know. Let me handle this. I need to fix that. I don't know why. I mean, I could just do RMRF, but yeah, this is all set up. Okay, so rebuild everything. Are you updating vertex data? Currently re-record commands. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of like indirect stuff, and that's part of why this has been so complicated for rewriting it. Since I'm using like VK, CMD, draw, indexed, indirect, whatever. So let me show you how I'm handling vertex data. It's kind of complicated. But actually, I guess I'll just start with the shader. This is probably the most clear part of it. Um, so ignore the culling part here. Like it says culled instance indices, just ignore that right now. I don't have culling set up on this rewrite yet because I don't have compute shader set up. So basically what I have this buffer and it just has a whole bunch of these instance data in it, right? So that's this instances. And then this instance indices, this is just an index or like a pointer or whatever into this instance data. And then and so you see here how I'm actually getting the model matrix or, updating vertex data. Well, you weren't talking about model matrix, but anyway, this is all kind of related. So how I'm doing instance data. So I have this big instances buffer, and then out of that, right? So I want to get the index of that buffer, and then I have to index into the index buffer, and I'm using that with this GL instance index. And so there's like, and then finally there's the where is it actually? It might just be better if I pull up the documentation for it. It's VK CMD, or no, it's VK draw index indirect command. Yeah, this is it. Right. So this is the actual like struct that you're passing and telling the GPU to draw. Like you pass this into like the should say it, yeah, or draw index, yeah, draw index indirect, right? So this would be your actual draw command, and you just run this one draw command, and so in here. It's got this, where is it? Yeah, so there's this buffer containing draw parameters, and that buffer, I think how it works, yeah, it just like contains a whole bunch of these indirect draw commands. And so what this GL instance index is here is this first instance variable plus the instance count on like whichever instance you're on. So it's like, so this would be like, I don't know if your first instance is like 10 or something, right? Then that's like 10 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to instance count. So then that's how it deals with, that's how I'm doing like the actual model matrices themselves. But then for this command, it also takes care of the vertex and index buffer stuff. So like there's index count, first index, and then vertex offset. So let me see. Where am I uploading? I think it's in here. Yeah. So it's in draw, and then so how this is working. So I'm loading a model from a GLTF file, right? And so I'm getting like the vertex and the index buffer, right, from all this code here. So I have this vector of vertices and the vector of indices for this specific model, right? And then, or well, not like, or for a specific primitive, which is, I don't know how much you know about GLTF, but so like you have your whole GLTF file, and then you have a mesh, and then a mesh is composed of primitives, and the primitives is what actually contains the vertices and the indices. So the primitive is like a single model or whatever you want to call it, right? So anyway, I have these vertices and indices that I want to draw. And then, so I'm passing that to my draw object here. And so what this is doing here, and this is where a lot of the complexity is for actually making this dynamic. So like I can add or remove objects however I want, is I have this whole complicated like memory allocation stuff here. But basically what I'm doing here is I'm reserving a block of space for all these vertices on the GPU. And then I'm getting the offset of that, which goes into this indirect command, right? That I just showed you on here, right? So this vertex offset here, which is the value out of the vertex index before indexing into the vertex buffer. So like all this is just the position in the position in the one big vertex buffer I have for this specific model. So I'm setting the vertex offset to be that. And then the same thing with the indices, right? Yeah, and then I just upload the indirect command to the GPU. I don't know how much of that you understood. It's actually probably a little simpler if I go over my old code, but if you want, I can, if you didn't understand all that. But anyway, right, what was I working on? Yeah, trying to stop it from crashing. Okay, so let me see. Well, I want to see if you understood that first before I go and run this, because I might crash it again. If you're still here. Uh, well, anyway, I hope you're still here, and I hope this doesn't crash me. Oh, there it is. Think I get it, but not familiar. Yeah, yeah. Like it's a whole lot of indirection and stuff, um, and it gets kind of complicated. But yeah, the general idea is just like you have a pointer to the data that you're handing off to the GPU um, into these indexed indirect commands instead of just like uploading one block at a time. So anyway, let me try to run this and